The PlayAction Podcast is fueled by Picasso's Pizza, where every night is pizza night.
The Bills will take on the New York Jets this week on the road on Monday Night Football with a lot on the line. It's a really interesting matchup. Let's start with the Bills offense versus the Jets defense. Mark, what stands out to you about a really loaded Jets defense?
Well, I think Josh Allen is the spotlight is on him this week. For one, coming off a miserable performance against the Houston Texans. It wasn't all Josh's fault, but he goes 9 for 30. Josh Allen never should go 9 for 30 in a game. So I do think, while I certainly it wasn't all Josh's fault, I do think he was pressing, and he didn't take he didn't play efficiently enough. He didn't take small profits. Just to name one situation, second down, the last second down, deep on from the 3-yard line, throws deep incomplete for Mac Hollins. He had Dalton Kincaid wide open underneath. Now, he was looking Hollins' way the whole time. So why that is, but the fact is Kincaid was wide open, and actually Keon Coleman was open. And there were other plays. The sack in the first quarter from the 9-yard line, Houston's 9-yard line, wide receiver screen, set up. Curtis Samuel was open. Now, I don't know. There was the nickelback coming down, but Dalton Kincaid was supposed to block him, or sort of was blocking him, but the ball was there to throw. Pull the trigger. He didn't pull the trigger because he was worried, apparently, that the nickelback was a little bit too all over it. But a worst-case scenario, it was a 1-yard or a no gain. Put the ball in Curtis Samuel's hands and let him make – that's what you're paying him $8 million a year to do, to make something happen. So the onus, for a part, is on Josh to be – more efficient. You can't play hero ball against the Jets defense. We all remember last year, season opener, Monday night in New York. Josh tried to do too much, threw 3 interceptions. It was an ugly game. So the flip side of that is the Bills' health situation on offense right now.
Yeah, they're banged up. We're recording this as we talk. It's Thursday, so we still have a couple days to find out more information about who will be good to go. But James Cook not practicing on Wednesday, huge red flag. Khalil Shakir still working back from injury. Some of their quality guys.
Curtis Samuel,
yes. Oh
right.
My gosh. Yeah.
Who has a toe, a re-injured toe, which he was dealing with in the last week of preseason.
Yes.
So he didn't practice. Shakir, in good news, was out there working with trainers, which indicates to me it's not a high ankle sprain. He's not out for 4 weeks, which could happen with a high ankle sprain. So, but whether he's back, if Samuel and Shakir are out, it's KJ Hamler, Terrell Shavers, and Keon Coleman.
It's a very young group to go up against the Jets defense, I will say.
Yeah, I mean that's that. So that is a huge problem against the Jets defense, and all Bills fans know all about the Jets. The Jets defense has been a problem, and as Sean McDermott said yesterday, they've been a problem for the Bills, but they've been a problem for everybody.
Right.
Okay. So the Jets' pass defense right now is number 2 in the NFL. They were for 2023 they were number 2 in the NFL. 2022 they were number 3 in the NFL.
Yeah.
So this is clearly, without a doubt, by anyone's estimation, one of the top 3 to 5 cornerback groups in the NFL, with Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and Michael Carter in the slot. Carter is dealing with an injury too. We'll see about that, but it doesn't matter. Gardner and DJ Reed are a great tandem. So that's a problem for the Bills.
Yeah, their defensive backs are so good on the Jets. So, maybe an opportunity to run on them for the Bills. But again, that's dependent on what James Cook's outlook is for this week.
I don't, yes. I mean, obviously James Cook is off to a really strong start. I think he had 99 combined yards against the Texans, but you can run on the Jets. I mean, they're not impenetrable They have lost a lot from their front seven. No John Franklin Myers, he left in free agency. Jermaine Johnson, their number one draft pick edge rusher, is out with an Achilles for the year. They lost Bryce Huff in free agency. They signed Hassan Reddick. He's still a holdout.
Right.
So their front now Will McDonald is off to a great start. Their front is still stout. They still have Quinnen Williams, so their front is still good, but it's not as deep as it used to be. You should be able to run on the ball, but if the Jets have no fear of KJ Hamler and Terrell Shavers, maybe they can load up on the run. So it's not looking like a 30-point game here. The Buffalo Bills defense gets a chance to go up against future Hall of Famer, and I think we can say that without any reservation, Aaron Rodgers, Monday night in New York. Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, going to be 41 in December. The Jets, our offense is struggling, 27th in the league in yards. What do you think about the matchup against Rodgers?
Yeah, I spent Wednesday talking to different guys on the defense about what they thought about the Aaron Rodgers matchup. And, kind of the resounding takeaway was it's hard to confuse him. He's seen
Right.
just about everything a defense can present. Bobby Babbage said it when we talked to him on Monday. Players were saying it Wednesday. But Terrell Bernard was mentioning, just trying to muddy up the picture pre-snap. They're trying to do anything they can just to confuse him, where Cam Lewis pointed out sometimes, Rodgers only needs one guy on the defense to give away something and he can figure out what guys are about to do. So the challenge is for the whole defense to be on the same page and to kind of, if they can confuse him, do that. But it was really just interesting hearing their perspectives. Rasul Douglas, he's had him both as a teammate and as an opponent in different ways. And he was saying how back when he was on Green Bay, there were practices where their defensive coaches would be like, it's okay, Aaron Rodgers is going to make throws that you will never have to face in a game. It's good to go up against him in practice. Well, now Douglas is going up against him as an opponent again.
Yeah, obviously the Jets are they were expecting their offense to be better than this.
Yeah.
They have a true superstar as their number one wide receiver in Garrett Wilson, former 10th overall pick. He's leading the NFL in targets. They're going to force to feed him the ball. He had 22 targets, and the Jets lost to Minnesota last week. Aaron Rodgers throws like a pick six. Aaron Rodgers is not really an interception-prone quarterback, so I think it's going to be tough for the Bills to get turnover, an interception off him this week. But really, this is a spotlight on the Bills' pass rush. I wrote a column a couple weeks ago when Von Miller was suspended that the Bills still need Von Miller, like it or not, for the pass rush. We will see. Some people disagree with that. We will see how true that proves to be, and this is a good week to see how much they miss or how much they need Von Miller. Rodgers is being pressured more. At age 40, he has some escapability, but it's not like it used to be. He is taking more hits. He has a sore knee. He's going to play, but he took a blow to the knee against Minnesota. So the Bills need to get some heat on Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be, he's being blitzed more. He never used to be blitzed. So that'll be interesting. Another interesting thing is just the Jets have what I consider two outstanding running backs. Breece Hall, elite number one running back, and then they drafted 235-pound Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. Love him. And here we are, 5 weeks into the season, and the Jets are 32nd in the league in rushing with 80 yards. That makes no sense whatsoever. If the Bills hold the Jets to 80 yards rushing, they are winning this game.
I want to jump back to the point on Rodgers getting hit more. I think that's something the Bills have really picked up on. I talked to AJ Epinesa on Wednesday, and he was saying he's been taking a little bit of heat this year from getting hit a little bit, and that's something we want to keep doing. Keep rushing the quarterback, keep pressure on him. Now, in the last 2 games, the Jets' offensive line has allowed 9 sacks, 21 quarterback hits. So I think the Bills are seeing that, and they're saying there is an opportunity there.
I mean, you watch Aaron Rodgers throw the ball. He has truly one of the all-time elite. He's an all-time elite arm talent, up there with Brett Favre. I mean, I consider Joe Namath one of the top all-time. You just watch Joe Namath throw the ball, all-time arm talent. Dan Marino, certainly top 5, if not number 1, all-time arm talent. Aaron Rodgers is in the discussion, top 10, no matter how you slice it, and his arm still is great. But old quarterbacks don't like to get hit.
Yeah.
Even as we saw with Tom Brady, and he won a Super Bowl in his 40s, but he still got the ball out quick. So Aaron Rodgers does not like to get hit like he did when he was 35 or 25. It's human nature. The Bills can force the ball out quick.
We've given a lot of insight on the Jets players, but the big news out of New York this week is actually about their coach. Robert Saleh has been fired. Jets were 2-3. His record overall, he had a losing record, but now defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich is taking over. That can mean a lot of things for this game. Mark, what are you kind of sensing on it?
Well, my first reaction is I hate this move for the Jets. I
do
think
too.
it is a stupid, knee-jerk move. I like Robert Saleh. He's done an amazing job for the Jets defense. Obviously, I'm not in the building, but I don't even think he did a bad job the last 2 years. They went 7-10. Were competitive with Zach Wilson, who was the least, no matter what the least, pretty much the 32nd ranked quarterback in the league. He got them. They were in games, some 7-10. Anyway. What is the point 5 games into the season? Fire your coach. It's not going to change anything on offense. Their defense already is elite. So obviously, based on Woody Johnson's comments, their owner, he didn't like Saleh. He's been thinking about this for 2 years, he said. So he wanted him out. He's the owner of the team. I think it's a dumb move. If you're going to change, fine. But mid-season changes, unless it's just a tire fire and the players are revolting, they don't do much. We had a column Ryan O'Halloran wrote this week. It doesn't change. It changes the mood in the locker room, but I don't think I don't like it.
No, and, what we're hearing from reporters who are covering the Jets is that Jeff Ulbrich is very well liked by players, but so was Robert Saleh.
Right.
So it's not like there was the open revolt that you were mentioning that happens on some teams. I don't like the move either. I'm, surprised.
You can sometimes, there certainly is the prospect of the first time Jets show up for work today. They were off Wednesday. Circle the wagons. Everybody pull together. It's on us. We can't blame the coaches anymore. So, could there be some intangible emotional bump? Yes, I suppose. Does this change anything for the trajectory of the Jets season? I say no. If the Jets beat the Bills Monday night, my attitude is they could have beaten them just as easily with Robert Saleh as the head coach. So I think it's a case where the Bills have to avoid a bad start to just feel, if the Jets get off to a great start, fuels their energy, emotion, and all that. But otherwise, the matchup, Bills offense just is the same as it was.
Yes.
Right. So now the question is, this has huge implications, even though it's only week 6, with 2 teams coming off 2-game losing streaks.
Yeah, let's dive into that a little bit. I think just kind of looking at this divisional matchup, what it could mean for the rest of the season, but also we'll start with the Bills. We had talked earlier this year about how this 6-game stretch to start the season was brutal. If they win here, they're 4-2 coming out of a really hard schedule. If they lose, they're still 3-3, which is manageable.
Yes, they're not dead at 3-3, and we said that, but 4-2 would mean they've navigated this brutal, tough stretch in really good shape.
Yes.
And the other thing is, you look at the Jets, at 2-4, if the Jets lose, 2-4, and they've got Pittsburgh, Houston, at Arizona, Miami twice with Tua, Seattle, Jacksonville, Rams. That's 8 games against competitive foes. I mean, there's no way if they start 2-4, they're getting to 11 wins.
No.
Maybe they get to 10, but they're not getting to 11. And the Bills at 4-2, it's they can get to 11 if they start 4-2. So this is a chance for the Bills to really deal the Jets a big blow. Conversely, Bills start out 3-3. Hey, they got to fight, and it's going to be a fight, a scratch, a claw into January.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't. There's going to be little wiggle room. They can't stub their toe. It's going to be just a dogfight to the end. But if they get 4-2, they could find themselves in command of this division at the start of December.
I know it's early to be talking about that, it feels, but this game just has so much on the line, even though, as you mentioned, it's week 6, it's early, but a really exciting matchup. We'll have so much coverage leading up to the game. Be there as well. So make sure you're reading buffalonews.com and subscribing wherever you get this podcast to keep up on everything Bills related.
Treat your team to the most flavorful pizza on game day at Picasso's Pizza. 4 great Western New York locations: Williamsville, West Seneca, Lancaster, and Blaisdell. Picasso's. We are Buffalo's Pizza since 1980. Order online today at picassospizza.net.